What's up, people? In this video we are going to answer the question, does sunlight make you happy? Yes, I'm actually a scientist and I've done so much research on this, on my one single test subject. That is me. I've been painstakingly tracking my own results of whether or not sunlight makes me happy. And I'm going to break it down for you right now. Yes, I'm going to give it to you before I submit it to a scientific journal and probably win the Nobel Prize for my science-related science. Okay, so if you want to know about that, just keep watching this magical video. I promise you it'll be the best 10 minutes of your life that you have ever spent. And also subscribe to my channel. That is also the best 1 second of your life that you can spend. Check out legendarysuitgems.com. They make silk pajamas that look like suits. I'm not wearing one right now, but just pretend like I am. Check out the link in the description for more info about that. Okay, does sunlight make you happy? Now, again, I'm obviously kind of joking about my level of scientific research that I've done on this topic because I think scientific research is dumb. Okay, it's not dumb, I can't say that. Like, you could tell me, all right, why am I talking about this? Because I hear a lot of people say how you should limit your sun exposure and sunlight is not healthy and it makes you have wrinkles and like all this terrible stuff. And meanwhile, like, I am a sun freak. Like, I love me some sun, you know? And I don't know, like, you can look at like maybe a couple lines like right here, but like for somebody who spends as much time in the sun as I do, I'm looking pretty good. Like, I gotta say, like, no real wrinkles, like eyes are looking pretty good, nothing really around the mouth. Probably fast for a day or two, lean out a little bit. But, you know, is it genetics? Maybe. Is it because I put coconut oil on my skin before I go out into the sun? Also maybe. But that's not what we're talking about. Okay, what we're talking about is, does sunlight make you happy? Now, again, obviously not a scientist, but this is not ScienceTube, this is YouTube, and I'm gonna talk about me. So in my experience, during times in my life where I have been exposed to the sun frequently for extended periods of time, I have noticed that I am much happier. And in fact, the way that I live my life now is that I essentially, this is kind of embarrassing, but I kind of chase the summer around the world as much as possible, right? Obviously, like, I'm not super hardcore about it. Like, I have spent a couple cold months in some places in the past couple of years, but in general, like, when it starts to get cold and the weather starts to get bad, that's pretty much a sign for me that it's time to go. And the reason for that is because I found that when I don't want to go that way, when I don't get my daily dose of sun, or yeah, really daily dose, I just feel kind of awful, you know? And like, in my experience, all right, what would I consider to be, you know, I've traveled a lot. I've got a couple cities that are my favorites, right? And I guess it's not really fair to tell you what they are. I mean, I will, but it's not really fair because I kind of only choose cities that have fairly hot weather and as a result, lots of sunlight. So, you know, I'm really just kind of cherry picking these examples here, but I don't know. I just feel better when I'm in the sun, you know? And on the flip side of that, the times where I have not had a lot of sunlight, oh my God, like I don't know if I really considered suicide, but it's been bad, you know? Like, I remember when I was in the Army, and the Army in general is a terrible experience. Like, it's a terrible experience that I think everybody should do, and I highly recommend, especially if you're like a young, again, like random tangent, like I don't want to get political on here, but if you're a young, like Jewish person in America and you're just like not really feeling the whole like college thing, like go to Israel, join the Army, it's great. Or if you're not Jewish and you want to join the American Army, like I think that's great too. I think it's great. Military is good. It toughens you up a little bit, makes you appreciate the good things in life, or the normal things that you probably don't appreciate. But anyway, this one time when I was in the Army, we were on a base that was inside, like, it was like built into a mountain. It was some real like James Bond type shit. It was pretty cool when you talk about it years later, but at the time it was awful, okay? This base was right on the border of Syria and Lebanon, right? Like Syria, Lebanon, and Israel kind of meet on a mountain, or like it's like a tri-point or something like that. Anyway, they all meet, and this base was built into the side of a mountain. This shit was so high up, like you look down and you see clouds, okay? And it was freezing, obviously. So because it was built into a side of a mountain and it was below zero, like a good 6 months out of the year, we spent a lot of time inside. And you don't really get to see the sun so much. Now, the schedule that we kept on this base was god awful, and we're always, in the Israeli army at least, if you're in infantry, you're always sleep deprived. Probably every army, but maybe not. We were always sleep deprived, and we always had to wake up in the morning. I forget what it was called, but we'd have to wake up in the morning but an hour before dawn, okay? So it's like 4 a.m. We have to wake up and we have to basically open the doors to the base and look out the door. Not making this shit up. And I don't know, is this a national secret that I'm giving away here? Probably not. Maybe, but come on, I don't know. I feel okay giving out this secret because it's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, we have to open the doors and look out the doors with our guns pointed out, looking for basically bad guys who are going to maybe invade the base at the crack of dawn, which apparently, if you're a soldier, that's the best time to attack because that's when the human body is physically weakest, according to science and blah, blah, blah. And if you think about it, it makes sense, right? When are you going to be the most tired? Probably 4 a.m., Anyway, notwithstanding. So, we had to do that. We had to get up in the middle of the night to go sit in some bunker for 3-4 hours at a time and basically stare at the wall and do nothing while we also looked for bad guys who were going to come and try and kill us. I mean, stuff you have to do in the army. It's soul crushing, right? So not only was that soul crushing, but the whole part about not seeing the sun was also soul crushing. So was it because we had this terrible schedule and we all kind of hated our lives anyway? Maybe. Or was it because of the lack of sun? I don't know. Another time where I hated my life and I didn't get a lot of sun was when I was living in Berlin. Now, had a girlfriend at the time. She is German. She was German. She still is German. And we met in Australia, traveled around a lot, and then eventually we decided to go to Berlin because she wanted to study there. Now, I had traveled quite a bit at this time. I think I was how old was I? I don't know, it was 2014, it was 5 years, I was 30. So anyway, I traveled quite a bit. I've lived in a bunch of places, and I had kind of not an ego, but oh, I've traveled a bunch. I've lived in a bunch of places. I can go to Germany, no problem. And all of the German people who I've ever really met abroad are so nice. They're so nice. They're so friendly. They're always just so kind of happy-go-lucky. So I was oh, Germany's filled with nice people. Wow, it's gonna be great. Oh my God, this is gonna be amazing. No, it's terrible. Germany's awful. Sorry, German people who are watching this. Sorry, ex-girlfriend, if you're also watching this, but you know the deal. Germany sucks, right? And the reason why German people are so nice when you meet them abroad is because they're so happy to not be in Germany anymore, because Germany fucking sucks. Whoa, it's an awful place. It's freezing, the food is terrible, and in many countries that I personally enjoy going to, people are very friendly, right? Thailand, people are friendly. You go into the 7-Eleven, you crack a joke with the cashier. America also is very big in banter. Vietnam, not so much. Australia, also a great place, very friendly people. But Germany, whoa, man, they do not want to talk to you there. They do not want to talk to you most of the time. Obviously, blah, 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 exceptions and all that. But most of the time, it's not a friendly place. I don't know, it's just not friendly. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the sun. So when I was there, I think I got there in August, and I had planned to live there. Kind of had an open schedule, but I was planning to live there for a long time. She was going to be in school for I think 3 years, and I just kind of had it open because I liked her. She's a nice girl. I was all right, maybe I'll stay. Meanwhile, the winter comes. We're in Berlin, by the way. Winter comes, and I don't know, maybe you Europeans or English people are used to this, but the sky is covered in this gray cloud wall. I don't know, clouds everywhere, basically. It's not even a cloud anymore. It's not a fluffy cloud that you see with a backdrop of blue skies. This is a wall of clouds. You do not see the blue sky no exaggeration, for like months. You don't even see the sun. Okay, I remember I would keep track. I would like wake up in the morning, she'd be off like at school or whatever. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd like look up, I'd see like, okay, is the sun gonna come out today? Nope, no sun today, you know? And even if it did come out, oh my God. If it did come out, it didn't actually really come out. You could just kind of like see like this like little ball of light like right behind these clouds. That was like, when like my dick got hard when I saw that. I was like, oh my God, the sun. Like, that was like, to me, that was the sun coming out. Okay, now again, is this, and I hated my life, or I hated it. Now again, you know, to be fair, the rest of my life, it's not like the rest of my life was great and like, oh, just this thing about the sun. Like, and you know, I'm not blaming her or anything, but I didn't have like, it wasn't a good life for me there, right? I didn't like the place, I didn't like the food, I didn't like, you know, the people in my like German classes, like I just didn't like the culture, and it just like really brought me down. And then on top of that, the weather was awful. So I complained a lot, I probably drove her crazy, for sure drove her crazy. Ended up leaving after being like super depressed for like 6 months. Okay, so if you're watching this, sorry, but you know, it's in the past. Okay, now, so those are the 2 times. Are there any other times? And even just like when I was in New York a couple of months ago, 6 months ago, I remember the first day, super scientific video, I know, like, are you actually watching this? Like, thank you, good for you. Even just when I was in New York, like 6 months ago, 6 months? Yeah, 6 months ago, like maybe middle of November, I remember the first time that it snowed. I was like, oh my God, like I like legitimately like got depressed. I was like, oh my God, like it's snowing right now. Like, what am I doing in a place where it snows? That's what I thought. I was like, I'm wasting my life here in this place that's snowing. Okay, maybe a little extreme. I'm a kind of, I guess, an extreme person when it comes to the weather, now that I think about it, but I like me some sunlight. And thank goodness in Japan, it's been fairly sunny recently, with only maybe a couple days of rain since I've been here, because, you know, I don't know, not a huge fan of this place. I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, people in my share house, super nice, but I'm not, like, thank you for making the cartoons, like, I love the cartoons, but, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, your umbrella technology is next level. Toilet seat technology, also very good, but like, you guys gotta work on everything else. No offense, Japanese people, I love you, especially share house people, you're my family, but yeah, no. Okay, so tell me, what do you think about my super scientific video about sunlight making you happy? I know I included lots of facts, lots of studies about vitamin D. Oh my God, I'm not going there. About vitamin D and vitamin K, vitamin B, vitamin XYZ. God, this guy's so rude, huh? Yeah, anyway, what do you think about sunlight making you happy? Does sunlight make you happy? Okay, actually what I really want to know, do you live in a place where it has bad weather, like it's cold and like gloomy all the time? And if so, like, how do you deal with that? Like, I legitimately am asking because I want to know, because there's a lot of cool cities out there that just have really bad weather. And I would love to be able to appreciate them without, you know, needing my like daily dose of sunlight to make me feel better about being alive, if that makes sense. Okay, so leave me a comment, let me know how you deal with that. Subscribe to my channel, Larino. Check out legendarysuitjammers.com, link in the description. Peace.